Yeah, 0.007.
Are you ready to go? Pretty much ready?
I like to think so. Now, refresh my memory. When I put up a score, now, and then where would I go for? Would that be team locator for the scores?
Team locator is what we got up here right now.
So I want scoreboard. Yeah.
Scoreboard, scoreboard and logo. Logo.
Yeah.
Go ahead and push that. Make sure that.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, now go to our score
Okay.
bug. Make sure our score bug is right. Should say first and 10.
First and 10, first quarter, 3 timeouts.
Go ahead and stay on this until.
Yeah.
Okay, so we hit go on here, we're going to be on. Okay, our lights are going to be hot, everything's going to be rolling, so it's a little bit different than before. Okay. You should be up there. Okay. Let me see what you're looking at. Make sure you're looking at live.
Do you want me to go into MCHS TV on here?
Hold on here, we got a problem if that's not showing up.
I mean, I can check really quick, just downsize.
No, just wait.
Alright.
Just go IHSA TV / There it goes. Go to upcoming Central versus because we're currently not live right now, so there's nothing. It's upcoming, and then it'll pop up. See that Hello, everyone, and welcome to Game 6 of IHSA football. We're here at Poppe Field in Marengo, Illinois, where we have Game 6 for the Marengo Indians. I'm Nate Wright with Dan Justin, my analyst for tonight's ball game. There's about 9 minutes till kickoff, and we're here to bring you IHSA TV live football here from Marengo High School. Marengo Indians come into the night 1-4, 0-3 in the conference, and the Rockets from Burlington Central are 4-1 and currently 3-0 in the conference. They hold a half-game lead. Here to tell you about the Burlington Rockets, the visiting team tonight, is Dan Justin. Dan?
Alrighty, well, the Burlington Rockets are coached by Rich Crable. Their record on the season is 4-1, with a win at Hampshire, beating them 16-7. Their only loss in the season was at Stillman, 40-6. They won at Rockford Christian, 36-3. Then they won at Harvard, 21-9, and then another win at Genoa Kingston, 26-14. Defensively, they run a 4-3 team who will key on Leshik. They have two sophomore linebackers, Craig Klein and Cole Roach, who will be all over the field. Their offensive team runs a 70-30 run pass. They like to spread the ball around and give it to a lot of people. They run a pro-style offense. The story tonight is Ryan Ritchie. He was out for 2 games after an ankle injury in Week 2 against Stillman. Then he tore a ligament on his non-throwing hand last week against Genoa Kingston on a 2-point conversion. Where does he play tonight? We don't know, but we might see him, though, still. Passing Ryan Ritchie, who hurt his finger, but the quarterback right now that we think is going to be Tyler Majewski, who's 41 and 61. Oh, combined they're 41.
Combined those are two.
Combined they're 41 and 61 with a 67.2% pass completion rating. They each combined have 459 yards, 3 touchdowns, and only 1 interception on the season. They throw for 90 yards per game with 12 attempts per game. Rushing, 173 attempts for 876 yards, 5.1 yards per attempt, and 34 attempts per game. Their rushers are Riley Marino, who's 52 for 300, who has rushed 52 times for 375 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. Ryan Ritchie, the quarterback, who he has rushed for 34 times for 207 yards and 3 touchdowns on the season. Trevor Davison has rushed 31 times for 151 yards on the season with 2 touchdowns. Deshaun Rambo has rushed 20 times for 60 yards and 1 touchdown. And Tyler Majewski, who we think is going to be playing quarterback tonight, has rushed 20 times for 42 yards. Receiving, Joe Breeden has 15 receptions for 181 yards and 0 touchdowns. Tyler Majewski has 5 receptions for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nate, that's a lot of running backs, don't you think?
You know, I really think it's going to be that's going to be the name of the game tonight for Burlington is who are they going to go to. There's really no one that they're going to be able to key on tonight as far as Marengo's defense to really kind of single out one man that they're going to go after. And I think the real question is with Tyler Majewski and Ritchie, you know, as Majewski goes to quarterback, does that drop their receiving ability? Or, you know, does that where Ritchie goes? Is Ritchie even going to play tonight with the torn ligament? So I think it's kind of a wait-and-see kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see and find out what they're going to do because they have a lot of options because Ritchie is very, very athletic, and he can play almost anywhere on the field. Now, Nate, tell us about the changes that the Marengo Indians have tonight.
Well, the Indians are coached by Matt Lynch. He's in his 6th season here at Marengo. They are 1-4 on the season. They started off the season on a good note and beat Mendota at home 20-13, and then they've lost 4 straight, including a loss at home to Rock Falls in Week 2, 20-3. They went on the road to North Boone and lost there 44-28. They came back home 2 weeks ago, and Richmond Burton got them at home 35-17. It was a close ball game for 3 quarters, and then Richmond kind of took things out of the kind of put it out of reach there at the very end of the ball game. And then last week lost a tough one to Harvard, 10-3 at Harvard. Defensively, the Indians, they're going to be in a 5-2. Their main linebacker in the back is going to be John Leshik. Right next to him is Dakota Sanda. They're going to make a majority of the stops. The defensive line really likes to plug up the holes, and then the linebackers want to come in there and take care of business. Also, free safety Justin Velasquez, probably leading the teams on the year in tackles, is in and getting his nose in on every play. As far as offensively for the Indians, they're going to be a run team. Or at least we think they're going to be a run team. We're going to have a little bit of a switch tonight. Normally Chris Lopez is our quarterback. He is going to step out to the wide receiver spot tonight, and John Leshik is going to step back into shotgun as the QB for the Indians. So it's going to be an interesting little change here tonight. We're going to see how they're going to utilize Lopez at the wide receiver position, how Leshik will now immediately have the ball in his hands. He is capable of throwing the football. He does have a good arm. He's played quarterback before, so he still has that ability. On the season so far for the Indians, their weapons when Lopez is at quarterback, he's 20 for 72 for 347 yards. Indians don't really pass it a whole lot. They only pass it in needed situations. He has 2 TDs and 2 interceptions on the season. Rushing for the Indians, John Leshik is the man. He's going to be the guy they're going to go to most of the time. And if you read Crable's comments, the coach for Burlington Central in the Daily Herald, he said that they're going to key on Leshik. That's their guy. They know that that's our guy, and that's who we're going to go to. So they're going to be keying on him most of the ball game. Leshik has 122 attempts on the season for 799 yards, 1 yard short of 800 yards on the season, and he has 6 TDs. He is second in the area. Last week he was first in the area. Kind of had an off night for him, only gaining somewhere around 70 yards on the night, and has been passed up, but he's now second in the area. But 799 yards through 5 games is still a ton. Casey Doyle, the other running back, he has 22 attempts for 171 yards and 1 touchdown. He plays fullback, so he's kind of the off guy when Leshik isn't getting the ball. As far as receiving for the Indians, Matt Conroy has 5 receptions for 115 yards and 1 touchdown, and Justin Velasquez has 4 receptions for 100 yards, and he has not got in the end zone yet, but is looking to get that done tonight. So that's our preview for tonight's ball game. We'll be back in a few minutes, 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. We're going to have the national anthem, and we'll be back with our keys to victory after this. We'll see you in a minute. 2 minutes till ball game here at Marengo High School at Rod Poppe Field, where the Indians will be taking on the Burlington Central Rockets. We'll see you in a few.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will please rise and remove your covers for the playing of our national anthem by Marengo's marching.
And now will be the national anthem played by the Marengo Indian Marching Band. We're back here at Poppe Field in Marengo, Illinois. Tonight's ball game just about ready to get underway between the Marengo Indians tonight, the home team, and the visitors on the scoreboard, the Burlington Central Rockets. Let's talk a little bit, Dan, about the keys to tonight's ball game. I'll start first with Burlington Central's keys to the game. First of all, it's going to be stop John Leshek. It's Johnny left, Johnny right most of the time, and it's going to be stop John Leshek. Will be one of their keys. They talked about it in the paper. Coach has been talking about it all week, so they know that they got to stop him. The other one is going to be stay healthy. They've had some injury problems, and their quarterback out tonight, so they're going to have to avoid the injuries. And the last one's going to be to adjust quickly. New offense coming out from Marengo tonight. We'll see how quick they adjust. Dan, keys for the Indians.
Well, the Indians' keys are to avoid costly penalties. We saw last game that it plagued them the entire time. There was a penalty and then a penalty and then another penalty. And I'm pretty sure Coach Lynch wasn't very happy about that, as you would think any coach would be. But the second key to the game is let the run game open up the passing game. We use our run game a lot, and that'll open up a lot of, holes for play action passing, and, you just got to let it go with the flow. And then our third key to the game, Coach Lynch has reiterated it many, many times, that you need to avoid costly turnovers. That hurts any team, and it's hard to win any game when you don't have the ball in your hands, Nate.
Absolutely. You got to have the ball to score points. Opening kickoff there by number 8, Casey Matthews for the Rockets. Returned by Casey Doyle, number 33 for the Indians. He got about 15 yards, brought down just short of the 25-yard line. We'll mark it at about the 23, and we got an Indian down here on the opening kickoff. I don't have a number yet, but that's Aaron Randall out there, our trainer. Does a great job working with our athletes and keeping them healthy and preparing them to play games and to recover from injuries as quick as we can and get them back out on the playing field. She's out there now with the injured Indian. It looks like Coach Lynch is as well, and we're going to pull him up. Hopefully just maybe a stinger or wind knocked out of him or whatever it may be. That's number 23, Matt Conroy. He's a little, seems a little wheezy or woozy right now. Hopefully not a concussion. That's something the IHSA doesn't take lightly, do they?
No, they don't. And he got hit very, very hard. It looks like he kind of got caught by surprise by that hit. It was pretty high. It wasn't an illegal hit, but he did get hit really, really hard.
He's being helped to the sideline. I don't. That's a possible concussion there, I think, and we'll try to get word on the injury and get it to you here in a minute. So here comes the Indians opening drive. Leshek in the shotgun, hands it to Velasquez. It's a little double reverse, and that is Casey Doyle out wide. He's got a block. He's up the right sideline past midfield to down to the 35, 30-yard line. A little pitch there, like an inside handoff on a motion to Velasquez, and then a pitch back to Doyle coming the other direction, and he gets all the way up the right side for good 25, 30, 40 yards there, and the Indians are in business to start this ball game. Come out in a different formation with a trick play. A little something special there for the Rockets.
Yeah, Nate, that was a great way to start this game off. And when you run trick plays, you really need good blocking, and they had fantastic blocking on that run.
They even had John Leshek, the quarterback, out there as the open
yes,
field blocker.
And he's a big
guy,
guy,
here's the
too.
same play again to Velasquez. A little run, another little inside handoff, and Velasquez gets probably enough for another first down, about 15 yards. 2 plays in a row and 2 first downs.
Yeah, this is a great start for the Indians.
Exactly what they needed. Rockets 4-1, Indians 1-4. Coming into this game, you would think that the Indians are the underdog, and it doesn't seem like that right now. So Leshek looks like Easterline in the backfield, split left, and this is Doyle up the right side. He's got a block. Little inside handoff again for about 5, and it has been no John Leshek so far. It has been Doyle and Velasquez.
Yeah, they're really catching Burlington off guard right now. You know, the game plan was to keep tabs on Leshek, and they're doing that, but the ball's going to other people.
So same formation again. Split left, we've got Click and Doyle. Easterline in the backfield, and that looks like Rondorf and Velasquez to the right, and that's handed off to Velasquez. He gets it upfield 3-4 yards, and it'll be a third down. Not enough for the first down. But nonetheless, they're getting 3-4 yards per play, if not more.
Yeah, they're sticking with this misdirection running style right now, and it's working out for them. You know, you don't really need big chunks of yardage every play. You know, this Indians offense can methodically work their way down the field and score touchdowns.
All right, so Burlington Central calls a timeout. They're confused. They weren't ready. They didn't know what they were about ready to see. And the Indians come out with a little trickery, and Burlington needs to burn a quick timeout here to start the ball game. Their first 10-10 to go in the ball game, and the Indians are driving. We'll be back here in a few minutes from Rod Poppe Field. No score. All right, here we are back out again. This time Leshek's going to go under center. They have the I formation. 3rd and 3. They're going to give it. It's going to be a QB keeper to Leshek. And Leshek dives over the
Great
defender,
touchdown.
looking to get in the end zone. And they do. It's a touchdown, Indians.
He had
10:04 left in the first quarter. Indians get in the end zone.
Yeah, Nate, he had a great hole there to run through, and that was just a beautiful run. Leaping over the defender there to get in the end zone.
Looked like a little fake to the fullback, and then, the tailback, and the little keeper for Leshek, and he dives over the top of the cornerback and gets into the end zone. So we're not even 2 minutes into the ball game. Indians haven't thrown the ball yet. Good drive there. A minute and 56-second drive, and they drive 76 yards on about 5 or 6 running plays for the first score of the ball game. We have a Burlington Central Rocket on the field right now. Trainers are out there with the coach, taking a look at him, and we're going to reset here in a minute, and we'll kick the extra point. And Indians take a quick lead. We'll be back in a few minutes here at Rod Poppe Field.
While we've got a moment, I'd like to remind everybody that tonight's game is being televised on the web at www.ihsa.tv/Marengo. The Indians will be televising many of their sporting events and extracurricular activities on that station all year long. We're happy to see that number 50, Kyle Holtz, is able to walk off the field on his own power.
We're returning to action here at Rod Poppe Field. That was Kyle Holtz, number 50. He's a senior defensive tackle for the Rockets. He was the man injured. Walks off under his own power, so that's good to see. And the extra point by Shepherd is blocked. They got through there in a hurry, and Indians not able to get the extra point. So 10:04 left to go here in the first quarter. Quick score by the Indians, 6-0. We'll have the Indians kickoff in a few minutes here on IHSA TV.
We just heard that somebody has lost their keys. If you happen to find their keys, if you could please bring them up to the announcer's booth, we would appreciate it.
Back here at Rod Poppe Field, Marengo High School, where the Indians have taken an early lead, 6-0. Into kickoff here for the Indians is number 7, Justin Velasquez. Probably want to be one of those pooch kicks into the corner. And it is a short little kick in the middle, and they're going to try to chase that one down. And a frontline man for the Rockets covers it up. That's number 14, TJ Johnson. And he gets back there, sprints back, picks up the ball, and the Rockets will take over at the 32-yard line in their own territory. So quick start here for the Indians. A good start, Dan.
Yeah, it really was. I think the Indians offense has Burlington Central's defense quite confused right now. And, let's just hope that can turn over into our defense and we can stop them here.
So here's the first play of scrimmage here for the Rockets. Little offset I formation, twin receivers right. And a roll sprint out pass by number 6, and he throws it deep. That's number 6, Tyler Majewski. So as we thought, Majewski is the quarterback now. We'll see where we see Ryan Ritchie, if we see him at all. I'm taking a look on the sideline. I haven't seen a number 1 yet.
Nate, you got to think, if they did plug him in at wide receiver, that'd be tough to catch with the torn ligament in the thumb.
We'd probably see him maybe on defense or perhaps as a running back where he can get a hold of the ball and just kind of cover it up. But I don't know if he had surgery this week or not. He was scheduled to, or they thought he was going to. So we'll see if he shows up tonight. If not, it'll be Majewski at quarterback. And it is, again, double tight, and it looks like we have a little offsides here. Looks like the Rockets jumped there, and I think we're going to have a false start. It is a false start, so the Rockets are going to go back 5 yards, 2nd and 15. And the Indians, keys to the game so far tonight for the Indians were to avoid costly penalties. We haven't had one of those yet. In fact, the Rockets have had that. And for Leshek to get things going, I believe, was another key, and he's got it going here on the offense. So Burlington Central not able to adjust, not able to avoid penalties of their own, and the Indians are up 6-0. Another little weird offensive start there, and the ball goes back to Click. Click is deep, and that's number 4, Joe Breeden. He's the leading receiver for the Rockets. It was a throw. It was up for grabs, really, Dan, and he just kind of got back underneath it.
Yeah, he did, but he did what all receivers are really taught to do, and he came back to that ball to help out his quarterback there.
Absolutely. Has to come back, try to meet that ball at the highest point. That's what the coaches are telling him to do, and he did that, and Click just couldn't find the ball.
Yeah, that was a good chunk of yardage that they just chimed off of this defense right now. So let's see if we can...
So after being, a little fumble in the backfield, they tried to have a little reverse, but no go. But there's a little room on the right side for the Rockets, and that's number 33, Riley Marino. He's the leading rusher for the Rockets, and he gets a few yards of his own. So a little trick play there, breaks it up, but they still get 7 out of it. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Yeah, that was a nice little run, making something out of nothing right there. You know, and I was talking to Justin Vogel, number 52, linebacker and left tackle. He's a junior, and, you know, for this game, he said that they need to keep focused, and they can't take a play off, and they need to attack every single play, Nate.
That's exactly an example there. Everybody needs to stay in their lanes and avoid dealing with or avoid that overplaying the play and getting beat on the reverse. That's number 28, Trevor Davison. And he stopped short of the first down to be about 3rd and 2. Third and 2 here for the Rockets. A little handoff to, that looks like Marino up the middle, and it's going to be enough for a first down. Moves the chains, and the Indians are looking to get a stop here. They had them back 2nd and 15. Deep pass, kind of a wobbler up there, and the receiver happened to make the best play on it, and the Rockets are marching here, Dan.
Yeah, they really are, and we need to stop them right now because they just keep methodically moving the ball down. No big runs, but they're chunking away at yardage with little tiny runs now.
And one big pass play, and then the broken up reverse, and they got business going here. Little fake pitch, counter underneath, goes to 24. That's Sean Garbarino. He's a senior for the Rockets, fullback, and he gets about 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You know, Nate, if the Indians want to learn from their loss, last week when they played Harvard, you know, the little runs that just took away yardage every time that they ran the ball, you know, Christian Kramer and Sammy Solis really chomped away at the yardage, not with big runs, but small runs, and that's what Burlington Central seems to be trying right now.
It's a lot of getting it to the line of scrimmage and overpowering, so if the defensive line can hold up and plug up those holes, linebackers can step in, the Indians will get something going here on defense. Little bubble pass attempt there, wide receiver screen maybe. Didn't see the blocking scheme there, but ends up being an incomplete pass, a little over his head, intended out there for number 33, that's Marino, and he misses it. And so we have a 3rd and 8 here, and the Indians need to stop, and they get one. It's going to be 4th. Oh, he squeaked forward for a few more. They're going to be short by maybe a yard or 2, and I got a feeling probably, Dan, that this is 4-down territory.
Yeah, you know, that was a good stop by the Indians defense to stop that second effort by the running back. He was pretty much down, but he just had another burst and got up there for a couple more yards.
Yeah, I thought he was down 3 or 4 yards short and gets a few extra on the dive forward. So big 4th down here. Indians with an opportunity to really set the tone here with a big defensive stop. 4th and 1 for the Indian defense here. Little pitch out here, and he is going to get enough for the first down, just barely. Lopez, the cornerback, comes up hard, kind of makes him cut inside, and he just got enough there for the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Indian 23-yard line, and the Rockets are threatening a little bit of their own here.
Yes, they are. You know, I mean, we got to, you know, that last play, we had good penetration on the defensive side. We just didn't get to him quick enough.
Yeah, just a matter of they had the angle, and we were there, and any other time on the field, that's a great play, but in that case, they got enough for the first down. Little offset eye to the left side, split receivers left, tight end on the right side. That's Majewski under the center. He pitches it to, there's a little reverse out there to Joe Breeden, and Breeden, the ball carrier, kind of gets tripped up there by number 7, Justin Velasquez. Not quite enough for the first down, probably a chunk of 5 there. And exactly like you talked about, Dan, they're not getting a whole lot, not big plays, but 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. It's going to eat a lot of time off the clock, and you're going to get those first downs.
And it's going to kill your defense because you're just wearing the defense out. They're running all over the field, and, you know, with these reverses, they're running one end and then coming back. And, you know, that was good balance by the running back there to stay on his feet.
Yeah, got a few extra that he probably wouldn't have got. That's Marino up the middle. He's going to be short of the first down. It'll be a 3rd and about 2, met by number 36, Dakota Sanda, and number 56, Coy Shaflarski, the nose guard. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Rockets. Double tight formation, one receiver split out right, I formation straight up the middle, two. We probably got a hold there, I think.
I think you're right there.
Called in the backfield by the official. It is a hold on the Rockets. Just what the Indians needed there. So it goes from a 3rd and 2 to about a 3rd and 12. And Marino had enough for the first down, but official sees holding, throws the flag, and it's 3rd and 12.
You know, Nate, what do you think? In high school rules, they make it to 4th down right here. You think they're in if they chomp away 10 yards, you think they're in a field goal distance?
Well, if they get all the way to almost a first down, you got a decision there to make. Can we stop them? We haven't really showed that we can stop them run right up the middle yet, so maybe they go for first down then. If it's on the 20-yard line, then you're talking a 37-yard field goal. It all depends on what kind of field goal kicker you got. The opening kickoff got back there pretty good, so let's see where they get here, and then we'll have a better idea what they're going to do.
That is very true.
Split left, 2 wide receivers. It's going to be a rollout. Majewski fires it, and it is off the hands of Breeden, and then off the hands of Click, and then just not enough air under it for Lopez on the dive there, and it's going to be 4th and 12. And now, Dan, here's the decision. Do they maybe try to take a shot deep, and if it gets intercepted, it gets intercepted. If not, it's kind of like a punt. I don't know. What do you do here?
You know, this is chess match right now, and, you know, I honestly don't know what they'll do, but, you know, we'll see right now.
Looks like they brought Big 82 in the ball game there. He's a big tight end.
You know, watch out because
double tight. We got double tight, split left, one receiver or one running back in the backfield. So it is a fake little pass looking for the tight end across the middle, and a nice play by Velasquez there. The linebacker got barely behind Leshik. Leshik trying to play catch-up. Velasquez comes through with his left hand and kind of slaps the ball away there, and the Indians get the turnover on downs, exactly what they needed to start this ball game.
Yeah, that was fantastic sense of awareness by Velasquez. Great play to dive and knock that ball out of the air.
So great play by Velasquez, the free safety, playing strong safety this week for the Indians. And Velasquez, it will split out right as a receiver this time out there with Rondorf. Left side is Lopez, and it looks like Doyle, and Doyle will go in motion. Handoff to Doyle up the right side, and nice play there by the defensive end to force him back up the middle, and the linebacker, number 33, Riley Marino, takes care of business for a loss of 2 for the Indians.
You see, Nate, if I was about 200 pounds lighter and playing Indians football, I would have tried to cut that to the outside if I was Doyle, but you know, he saw an opening, but unfortunately it didn't happen for him.
You know, I think that play's designed to try to get a little hook there and almost like a sweep, but if it's not there, you almost want to cut inside quicker to kind of avoid that rushing outside linebacker coming up on the forced inside, and maybe you can cut off his angle a little bit. Same 2 receivers split each side, and this is Velasquez coming across, and it's a little handoff up the middle. That looks like it was
Kyle Easterline.
Kyle Easterline on the carry, a little kind of fake to Velasquez, and then Easterline comes through and is stopped in the backfield again for a loss of 3 or 4. Got an injured Burlington Central player. That's number 54, Craig Klein, a sophomore linebacker. He's going to come off the field, and he's replaced by number 44. That would be Kyle Coughlin. He's a junior linebacker, 5'8", 155 for the Rockets. Leshik in the backfield in shotgun formation again. Shotgun, not something the Indians done a whole lot. Leshik can throw the ball, and he can throw it hard, and he throws a pick. That's an interception there. Leshik's first pass is intercepted by number 3. That's Abraham Sanson, and a little route there. That was fired hard there by Leshik, but it's right in the hands of Sanson.
You know, Johnny seems to have that gunslinger mentality, you know, throwing the ball down. And, you know, we'll see if he keeps taking strikes like that, because sometimes those do pay off.
You know, Johnny's a big boy and throws a football like that. He might have a future as a quarterback. Double tight. Fullback, tailback, wide receiver split left, and it's right up the middle. The quarterback keeper, that's Majewski on the keeper, and he's going to get out wide left. And he is brought down at the end there by number 51. That's Matt Panducci, number 51 on the stop there. He's a junior. and Dan Justin's next door neighbor.
Yes, he is.
As we learned last week.
He is a very, very what's the word I'm looking for, Nate?
I don't know.
Neither do I. So let's move on.
We'll move on there. He's a hard-nosed player, and he'll get after it out there. He plays both sides of the ball. So double tight, again, fullback, tailback, and it's right up the middle. It's first and goal here for the Rockets, just barely inside the 10-yard line. It'll be second and goal here. They get it down to about the 6. That was Riley Marino up the middle, and he stopped after a gain of a few there by Leshik and Sanda. 2:04 left here in the first quarter. 6-0 Indians. Indians had a drive to start the ball game, went all the way down. Central wasn't really ready for the new offense the Indians were running, and the Indians drive all the way down the field and get 6 points real quick and get the extra point blocked, and that's where we sit now.
Yeah.
Good stop there for the Indians. That's number 52, Justin Vogel, in there, dives at his knees, and he's the slack is picked up there by John Leshik. And it's going to be third and goal for the Rockets from about the 2-yard line.
You know, I talked to Vogel, like I said earlier, and he was really pumped up coming into this game. You know, and last week I had talked to Dakota Cassandra, who's another linebacker, and he, you know, just to say again, this team is very confident in their ability to win football games. It just hasn't happened very often this year yet.
Little run right, stopped in the backfield. Nice
great
play by the Indians in the backfield immediately. And he stood him up right
nice
at the
play.
5-yard line. It looked like Velasquez, Leshik, a whole host of Indians in there in the backfield. Would you say, now we're not going to go there.
Good.
We'll say it's going to be about fourth and goal from the 5-yard line, and I got a feeling here the Rockets are going for it.
Yeah, IHSA, you guys are saved from Nate Wright trying to do his third job, his second night job, he said last week.
Second night job, absolutely. So here it is, a little run up the middle, and it is going to be...
Oh, he got a touchdown.
They're going to give it a touchdown. They're going to call it in. He gets 4 yards on the play on the dive forward for Marino, and it's 6-6 here with 29.8 seconds to go in the first quarter. Rockets tie it up, and they're going to look for the extra point here to take the lead. Casey Matthews here for the extra point. Hold is down. Hold is good. Kick is up. And kick is good. So with 29.8 to go here in the first quarter, it is 7-6. Burlington with the lead over the Indians here at Rod Poppe Field. We'll be back with the kickoff in a minute.
Hey, the Booster Club is coming around selling 50/50 raffle tickets. They'd like to thank all of you for your support of the Booster Club, and also they are selling hot cider and hot chocolate, cider donuts and hot chocolate down at the Booster tent, $1 each.
Back here in Marengo, Rod Poppe Field, Central just took the lead, 7-6. In here to kick for the Rockets is number 8, Casey Matthews. Back to receive as Velasquez and Doyle. Kick is back, kick is deep, and Doyle's going to take it up the right side. He's going to cut back middle, kind of stopped in his tracks there. Not something you want to do when you're returning a kickoff.
Yeah, you know, when you watch the Bears, you see Devin Hester do that quite a bit. You know, he's a great returner, but when he does that, you're kind of stopped in your tracks and you ain't got nowhere really to go.
You want to keep that momentum going north and south, and you know, Doyle's trying to make a play there, as most high school kids are going to do. They're going to try to work their hardest there to make a play, so no fault of his. He had the right intentions there, just nothing going, and he tried to make something out of it, and he's brought down right at the 26-yard line. Now we got two in the backfield there with Leshik. tight end left. And it's going to go to Leshik. And Leshik is going to be brought down in the backfield. The Indians' offensive line struggling here these last two possessions to keep the Rockets' D-line out of the backfield.
It looks like they're beating them to that first hit and getting a good block, but it's just they're not holding them, so they can't get anything going. It looks like the first quarter is going to run down here, Nate.
Yep, first quarter over here at Rod Poppe Field, Marengo High School, where the Indians are down to the Burlington Central Rockets. It's Rockets 7, Indians 6. We're going to start the second quarter here in a minute with the Indians ball. It'll be about 2nd and 12. They're at their own 22-yard line. We're going to flip sides here, and we'll be back here in a moment on IHSA TV.
Hey, Marengo, the next home game is our homecoming that is 2 weeks away. We'll be taking on Rockford Christian, so make sure you come on back to Rod Poppe Field for Marengo's homecoming 2012.
Back here in Marengo, 7-6, start of the second quarter. Indians 2nd and 12. Leshik a little fake there, going to run the ball himself. He's going to tuck it in there. He's going to get back to probably the line of scrimmage there. It's going to be 3rd and 12. Kind of a little sprint out right there, nothing going.
Yeah, that was probably a good move by Johnny not to force a pass like he kind of did the last time that he threw the ball, and to just get a couple yards on something that really looked like it was just going to be a tackle behind the line. So, if we can do that and just chop away at these yards, we should be all right.
Yeah, Indians need a little do a little of the same thing that the Rockets were doing to them, and get bits and pieces here as they try to get a drive going here after the first drive was a strong one, get all the way down in the end zone.
Yeah, any bit of positive yardage is good.
So they're going to look for get some back here on 3rd down. Leshik out the throw. He's going to fire it, and it's going to be incomplete off the hands of Justin Velasquez. Looked like it was going to be right on the sideline. Velasquez wasn't able to bring it in. 4th and 12, and the Indians are going to have to punt here. Back to punt for the Indians. Illegal substitution is a call. Looked like we had somebody run out on the field there at the last minute. They basically more or less call a 12-man on the field there, and it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, bring the Indians back. But nonetheless, they're still going to be punting here. 4th and about 16, and that's Henning back to punt for the Indians. Henning probably our player of the game last week for the Indians, Dan.
Yeah, he definitely was. He kept the Hornets back in their own territory most of the entire night. And
Great punt by Henning. Hopefully it takes an Indian bounce, and it does. Nice bounce, that's 28. Trevor Davison, he picks it up, and kind of a broken coverage here. Davison gets it back out to midfield, and they're going to call a flag. That's going to be a late hit there. That's number 22 for the Indians. That's number 22 is Peyton Lockhart. He's kind of shoved down there at the end of the play, and I think we're going to have a late hit on the Rockets. Personal foul. Personal foul there on the Rockets. Going to take them back 15. They'll be 1st and 10, but it'll be a ways back here.
Nate, can I call you W?
No, I think Nate's good. W. Oh, as in my last name, right?
Yeah,
I got you.
I like W.
All right. Little sprint out, little option action here for Majewski, and Majewski's brought down there by number 52. That's Justin Vogel as he turns it back. Vogel pursued down the line exactly the way a defensive end should, and gets the cutback.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle there, W. Oh, well, let me ask you, what do you want, W, or should I go with the nickname that I was told to call you, which was Big Nate or Dub?
I think W is all right, or maybe just Nate would work as well.
Should I stick with Nate?
Who put you up to Big Nate or Dub?
I don't give away secrets like that.
All right, I'll have to talk to Nick Rhodey later.
You are a big man, and the one who told me is quite small, well, in comparison to you. So.
Well, Nick Rhodey will hear from me later.
How do you know it was Nick Rhodey?
Here we go. Indians able there to get it a little stop there, gain of a couple, and it's going to be 3rd and 4. I brought Dan Justin along here to help me out a little bit, and now he's starting to get a little smart with me.
That isn't true. That's not true at all.
All right, so 3rd and 4 here for the Indians. Big stop time. Indians defense need one. Majewski's going to drop back to pass. He's got it up the line, and it's going to be caught by Breeden. And he's going to be chased down here by Henning, possibly.
Nope.
Henning not able to catch up with him. Could have possibly maybe dove at his feet. But Breeden gets behind the cornerback, catches the ball on the little sprint out by Majewski. And that's a 55-yard score for the Rockets. And the Indians looking to try to get a stop there. Had an opportunity on 3rd down, and the deep pass, touchdown, 13-6 with 9:32 to go here in the first half. Matthews will kick the extra point. The snap is good, hold is down, and the kick looks like it is good. And with 9:32 to go here in the ball game, 14-6 is our score. Indians are trailing here at Marengo High School, Week 6 here on IHSA TV. The Rockets will kick off here to the Indians. 9:32 here in the ball game. 14-6. Rockets have the lead. Indians came out in a fury to open up the first drive of the ball game, and then the Rockets have scored twice since. Indians unable to answer with any points of their own. Matthews going to kick back to Velasquez and Doyle, who are deep. Matthews a strong kicker, high and deep, and it's going to get back to about the 7-yard line. Got a little fake reverse action to Velasquez, and he's going to cut upfield, up the middle, and he's going to be hit by a couple different Rockets there. Finally hit and brought down by number 54, Craig Klein. He's a sophomore for the Rockets, and the Indians will take over at about their 20-yard line.
I think I'm just going to call you Nate, but from now on, that'll be it. But, Nate, if you look back on their freshman year, the Indians, this is the same group of guys. This was the offense that they were running back then. So, it's quite familiar. It's not new, but it has been a while.
It is something that they are used to, and something that they did a year ago. A little screen action pass there, and he's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to throw it upfield, and it is incomplete, unable to be brought down by Casey Doyle. A nice pass there. He's got a good arm on him, Leshik does, the tailback for the past couple of weeks, and he's playing QB this week. Just not able to connect there with Doyle.
Well, Burlington Central is playing some pretty good coverage right now. And it's hard for these Marengo receivers to get open, and, just leaving Johnny Leshik with not a lot to do.
And it just looks like there's always that one guy getting through with the Indians line. It's always a different guy, and once we get 5 guys there holding off the defensive line, Leshik might have a little room to do something with the football. Little snap underneath, a little sprint, a little slant
That's
pass
a first
across
down.
the middle, and that hits Chris Lopez, the quarterback for the first 5 weeks of the season, now playing wide receiver, catches a slant across the middle from Leshik. Great catch there, and a first down for the Indians. So after Indians unable to get some first downs there in the past few drives, finally get one here. 9:08 here to go in the first half, down 14-6, and they got the ball 1st and 10 on their own 34-yard line. Leshik in the backfield. It looks like Doyle and Easterline back there with him. Split out right is Velasquez. Split out left. Looks like that's possibly Henning out there. Little sprint across the middle, and it's going to be kept by Leshik. And he's going to get up the middle, and he is actually tripped up there by number 34, Kyle Easterline. Easterline went out for a block. Kind of was in a tangled mess there with the defender and kicked his foot out to try to keep his own feet, but that brought down Leshik of his own. So tackle there. We'll call that a team tackle for the Rockets, and Leshik brought down after a gain of about 3.
Darn those team tackles.
So we are 2nd and 7, and Indians looking to get another first down. Same formation we saw at the beginning of the ball game, and it's going to be Easterline up the middle, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield by number 58. That's Arikas Kupratis. Sorry if I butchered that name. Brought down in the backfield, and it's going to be 3rd and about 9 in a passing situation here for the Indians. Leshik going to be in the shotgun again. That's Easterline in the backfield with him. That's Ron Dorff and Velasquez split out to the near side. Look for a sprint out right here, and it is. It's going to be a little roll-out pass there, and Velasquez kind of lost his footing on the cut and wasn't able to get out to the sideline quick enough, and he's not able to come down with that ball. Incomplete pass. It's going to be 4th and 9 for the Indians. Looks like the punt team has come out here for the Indians. Back deep, the punt is going to be number 4, Jesse Henning.
Number 4, Jesse Henning.
Let's see if Jesse can pin him back again. Sorry to interrupt you, Nate.
Not a problem. Back to receive here for the Rockets is number 28. That is back. That is Joe Breeden, number 4, and number 28, Trevor Davison. And Davison is able to avoid one tackle. A nice punt, and he's brought down after he gets back into Marengo territory down to about the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 and good field position for the Rockets.
Yeah, that was a nice return there. And, you know, we got to try and stop those. You know, we're doing our best, but
the return there, you know, we had a guy right there and kind of made a little move there, and we just got to break down and make the tackle.
You know, Nate, I've just noticed I leave a lot of sentences off with but you know, I should try and stop that, you know.
Hey, you're learning, man. It's week 2 here and of doing this, and I tell you, after a while, you start to notice a few of your own mistakes, and you'll correct them. Don't worry.
Maybe that should be my my catch, you know my
like your catchphrase.
My catchphrase, but
like that play was Butta?
Yeah, Butta.
I like it.
I don't.
All right, 2nd and 10 here after the incomplete pass. There's number 52 for the Indians, Justin Vogel out there in coverage of a little kind of a screen pass, or a little more like a flare there. Majewski's going to come out, I formation, tight end right, fullback, tailback, split receiver each side. And we're going to stop forward progress here.
That play was Butta. Yeah, I don't like it. If you want it, you can have it, but I don't want it.
I don't need it.
Well, you got it.
So 3rd and 7 here for the Rockets. Indians looking to get a stop here. I think they're probably in punt territory now. If the Indians do get a stop, it might force the Rockets to punt it. going to be a sprint out here to Majewski. Majewski looking across the middle
Yes.
to Breeden. Breeden unable to bring it in. Good pass. And Breeden really realized that he had that. He was going, it was 6 points if he catches that ball.
Yeah, it
he
really was.
He had the break and looked upfield too quick, and that brings up 4th down for the Rockets.
You know, that's a case of the player looking downfield and not looking the ball into his hands, you know, but that was a good throw there by Majewski.
Absolutely good pass there by the quarterback. He is the kind of the fill-in here. Not really fill-in, though, because he's got 2 weeks of experience when Richie went out, but Richie back out again with a torn tendon, and Majewski is taking over here. Majewski's going to sprint out. They're going to throw it up the middle, and it's going to be too far, and that's a turnover on downs. And the Indians will take over a stop that they needed. They're going to take over at about the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 here with 6:14 to go in the first half. So Indians with an opportunity here really after struggling a little bit on offense and giving up some big plays, Dan, an opportunity to tie this ball game up with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, you know, Burlington Central had some steam underneath their wheels and they were moving down the field, but, you know, this defense has held strong and, you know, this game hasn't gotten out of control, and it's still a very winnable game. Let's see if we can score the ball right here.
Let's get in the end zone here. 2 receivers split out each side, same formation. That's Velasquez coming across. He's going to try to get outside and cut it up a little bit, and I think we're going to have a flag, possibly a hold in the backfield.
Yeah, you're right.
It is a hold. And that's going to take him back deep because that hold was way back in the backfield. He's going to move it up a little bit, but it's still going to be a 10-yard penalty here, and it's going to take him back.
You know, Nate, both of our keys to the games, you for Burlington Central and me for Marengo, they both played a factor. You know, Burlington Central has been, some of their players have been getting hurt, and, you know, the Indians, they keep getting these flags.
If we said no costly penalties, and we've had a few of those, and got some problems here for the Rockets. They've kind of contained Leshik. Leshik not really the same threat as he was at running back, but they have adjusted quickly to the new offense here for the Indians. Leshik hands it off, and he's met in the backfield by number 54. At number 54, that is Craig Klein. He's a sophomore, and he runs the offensive lineman of the Indians into the backfield, and we're going to be 2nd and 10, 20, 35 to 37 yards here. And
Craig Klein was in our pregame report too. Him and Cole Roach are all over the field as linebackers, and you know they like to jam those runners, and you know that was a game plan coming into this game. You know, Coach Crable said that they need to contain Leshik.
Yep, and the defensive linebackers, both sophomores for the Rockets, and that's bodes well for their future linebacking core. Leshik keeps it there up the left side, and he's going to get some yardage back there. It's going to be 3rd and somewhere around 20, 24, probably about 3rd and 24 for the Indians. They're in their own territory, about the 25-yard line, looking to get things going here and kind of reverse the trend. The Indians still holding strong, though. You know, a couple big plays for the Rockets. They're up 14-6 here with 44 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the ball game. Indians just looking to have that opportunity to get a score on the board, and they're right back in this. This game is not out of reach by any means. So we have a little timeout here. Indians are going to take a timeout. 4:43 to go in the first half. Indians are down 14-6 to the Burlington Central Rockets. We'll be back in a few minutes here. Week 6, IHSA TV. Back here with a 3rd and long for the Indians. Handoff up the middle goes to, looks like Doyle, and he gets nothing, and it's going to be 4th and long. Indians are going to have to punt.
the Indians.
You know, you don't ever want to force a 4 and out, Nate, but you know, it's good to know that you got a good strong leg kicker in Jess Henning to pin them back, you know.
Punt by Henning is a good one. It's an end over end. Taking the bounce in the right direction there. It's going to roll to the Richmond 41, down by number 13. That's Brent McMacken. And it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line for the Rockets. Majewski's going to go under center I formation, tight end right. Split receiver each direction for the Rockets. Indians need a stop here. Finish this half in a good way. And up the middle is number 33. That's Marino, brought down by number 16, John Leshik. Gain of about 5, 2nd and 5 for the Rockets. Well, Dan, I think we need to get a stop here. Maybe get a quick stop here. Indians still do have, one timeout left here. So if they can get a stop here and get something going on offense, maybe get a score in here before the end of the half.
Yeah, you know, there's plenty of time left.
Little pump, toss
deep.
And he sends a long one, and he's going to call it incomplete. It's going to hit the ground, but a great play by Breeden out there. A short little receiver. Breeden is 5'8", 145-pound senior out there. He's not a very big guy, but he's quick and he's got good hands.
Yeah, you know, that was a good effort by the wide receiver, but, you know, we got some good IHSA refs out here, and they made a good call there, like they do all the time.
Very, very good point. Well, we can't say all the time. I mean, everybody makes mistakes.
Whoa. We are on their TV. We need to respect their...
Well, but I'm saying everybody make mistakes. So every once in a while.
Not these refs.
Oh, okay, not these.
Because they're not replacement refs.
That's a good point. What do you think about the whole replacement ref situation there?
Don't ask me.
Is you upset, or what do you think? Are you glad the real officials are back?
I don't think that they did that bad of a job. I mean, it's good to see them get out of there, but and get the real guys up in there, if you know what I'm saying. But you know, I am not mad to see the Packers rightfully lose.
Well, I don't know if it was rightfully.
It was rightfully.
They did make the call, and they stuck with the call, and that's the way it ended up. Little handoff here to Marino up the middle, gain of 4 or 5, back past the original line of scrimmage, brought down right on the 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 6 for the Rockets here. 2:46 to go. Indians can get a stop here and then possibly get a little 2-minute drive going of their own. Now, I think that, you know, the replacement officials, everything was going to be a spotlight on them from day one. And, you know, any bad play that any bad call that they're going to make is going to be nationally televised, and it's going to be spotlighted because of the fact that the labor negotiations were going on.
Well, yeah, because, you know, you're bringing in a bunch of guys who aren't used to being on TV every Sunday, Thursday, and Monday.
Good point. Majewski.
Is a nice run
pass
there.
Out there to Trevor. That is Trevor Davison. He's a quick little receiver there, running back receiver there for the Rockets, and enough for the first down. And into Marengo territory, 2:08 to go here in the first half. And the Rockets are starting to threaten down here in Indian territory at the 32-yard line.
And just so all of you know out there listening in, you know, Mr. Wright, or Nate, he's about 7 feet tall, so everyone's little to him. So,
well, that's a good point, too.
It is.
See the world from a different angle when you're 7 feet tall.
Yeah, always looking down on people.
Little run up the middle there by Marino. He's brought down by number 51, Matt Panducci. We're going to have a timeout on the
My
field.
neighbor.
Minute 43 go to here in the ball game. Indians are going to take a timeout. 14-6, Burlington Central lead. Burlington Central threatening here into Indian territory. And Indians are going to try to get a stop here. 1:43 to go in the first half. 14-6 Burlington. Second and 7 play here for the Rockets in Indian territory around the 30-yard line. Majewski takes a step back in the same give and go again. And it's going to be knocked out of bounds. He catches the ball, but he's knocked out of bounds. That's Breeden. Knocked out of bounds by Velasquez on the coverage. Also on the coverage for the Indians was number 13, Matt Bozic. No, excuse me, that was for the Rockets. Indians number 13 is Brett McMacken.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Velasquez to come over and disrupt that pass play there. You know, that really helped us out.
That little give and goes kind of got us a couple of times here looking for that little fake kind of slant pass and then the out route. Majewski's going to pitch it out to
Think we got a hold here, Nate?
Marino, and I don't know, we maybe have a hold here. I'm guessing a hold. It is a hold on the defense, or excuse me, on the offense. The Rockets are going to go back 10 yards here. It'll be a longer third down, probably about a 3rd and 18 here.
You know, Nate, this is completely different
what do you do? Well, Dan, what do you do here if you're the Indians? Do you decline the penalty and take it 4th down, knowing that they're going to take another play here? Or are you going to take your penalty? It looks like they're going to decline it.
Yeah.
It'll be 4th and 8. What do you think about that?
You know, it's a toss-up. You know, you have benefits both ways, or you have things that can go against you both ways. I mean, I think Coach Lynch made the right call there.
All right, so 4th and 8, trips left, sprint out by Majewski to the right, and he's going to launch it up the middle, and it's going to be
almost
dropped there, but that's okay. In reality, that's the smart play, Dan, because if he catches that ball, he's probably tackled way back there.
That is very true.
If he knocks it down, now the ball's going to come all the way out. So in the end, even if he catches it, doesn't catch it, in the end, it's probably the better result for the Indians as the ball comes all the way back out because of the incomplete pass to the 30-yard line. So Lopez in and out of his hands. Looked like he was trying to get the pick there, but either way, good result there for the Indians. If he gets the pick, it's good. If he doesn't, it's good. Ball's going to come all the way back out. So a minute and 18 here to go, and the Indians are going to try to get something going here on offense, maybe go into this halftime either down, if we can get down into field goal range, down 5 or possibly in the end zone.
You know, Nate, that was a great call that you made back there. It probably was the right decision by the defender there.
Little run up the middle to, that's Easterline. No, that's to Doyle, and Doyle's brought down in the backfield. There is a flag on the play.
Think it's holding, or what do you think?
Thrown at the line of scrimmage, so it's something going on in there. Defense, offense, who knows? See what we got here. Personal foul, chop block on the offense.
That's what I kind of thought, but you don't see a lot of those. So, but I did see where it kind of happened.
So go high. You can't start high and then go low. You have to decide what you're going to do from the beginning. If you're going to go low, you go low immediately. If you're going to go high, then you got to stay high.
You know, like
so
I was
big penalty there. Sorry, Dan, to cut you off there. Big penalty
good.
There. It's going to be 1st and 25. Leshik's going to go under center here. I formation, split receiver each direction. Tight end, that's Rondorf on the left side. Handoff goes to Easterline. Not much going there. About 20. No real gain there. It'll be 2nd and 25. 31 seconds to go here in the first half.
You know, like I was saying, you know, this is a completely different offensive scheme that Burlington Central's running against us. You know, I know we're on offense right now and they're playing defense, but you know, Harvard ran the ball and ran the ball and ran the ball some more like we thought that they would, and then Burlington Central comes out and they're doing option runs and throwing the ball deep, and you know, we got to adjust to that.
Little QB keeper to Leshik up the middle, a gain of about 4, and that'll be the half. Indians are going to go to halftime. They will be kicking off here in the second half, and they go in halftime down 14-6 to the Rockets from Burlington Central. We're going to have a little halftime show by the Marengo Marching Band and possibly an interview here coming up at halftime. We'll see if we can get somebody to come up and have a few words with us. And we'll be back here for the second half in about 15 minutes from Rod Poppe Field at Marengo, where the Indians go into halftime down 14-6 to the Rockets. We'll be back. Thank you for joining us tonight. Game 6, high school football here on IHSA TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please. Will Brittany Peck please head down to the railing in front of the cheerleaders? Brittany Peck, please head down to the railing in front of the cheerleaders. Your pizza is here, and I'll expect a piece. If I can draw your attention to the field, it was Rich Carter who won the raffle for our halftime field goal kick, but a special deal was made. So our very own kicking phenom, Allison Mackey, will be attempting the field goal in his stead. And Mackey will go old school barefoot. Oh no, she's going to put on a shoe. And the kick is up. Not really. Thank you all for going ahead and buying those raffle tickets to our National Honor Society. That all proceeds go to benefit charity and our very own National Honor Society. And now, if I can draw your attention to the field, ladies and gentlemen, now taking the field, please welcome your Marengo Indian Marching Band. The Marching Indians are under the direction of Todd Selma, color guard coach Tanya Christensen, drumline instructor Chris Pratt, and Austin Shute, and brass tech Kent Russell. Now the Marching Indians competed last Sunday at the Dwight Harvest Fest and was awarded first place color guard, first place wins, first place drum majors, first place in class, and the 2012 Grand Champion Award. The Marching Indians invites everyone to come out Sunday, October 7th, for our home competition, Settlers Day. Come out and enjoy 20 different marching performances throughout that day. Now the Marching Indians today will be performing their show, The Music of Don Elfman, composed and arranged by J.R. Trimp. For many years, Danny Elfman's music has entertained movie audiences throughout a wide variety of music, from dark and twisted to joyful and lighthearted. His music captures the essence of the movies they are a part of. The first movement is the Breakfast Machine from the cult classic that started Tim Burton's directing debut, Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. The second movement is the grand finale ballad from the critically acclaimed movie Edward Scissorhands. The third movement for the evening will be the musical melody from Tim Burton's stop-motion musical, The Nightmare Before Christmas. The last movement of the show is the Big Band Swing Chart from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, August Block. Drum majors Missy Bachlita and Nick Hogan, is your band ready? gentlemen, your award-winning Marengo Indian Marching Band. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, don't miss next week as the Indians, Marching Indians, will be performing at our own Saturday Stage band competition. Ladies and gentlemen, your drum majors, Misty Poppe, Nick Hogan. Behind them is Marengo Zone Hellgar. And then your very own Marengo Drumline.
Mary, you want gloves?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are about ready to start this second half here. Remember, if you have some family and friends who are at home and would like to see this game, they can tune in to www.ihsa.tv/Marengo and view the game live, listening to the dulcet tones and witty banter of our very own Nate Wright and Dan Houston. And throughout the year, you'll be able to see many of the athletic and even some of the academic activities here at Marengo live on that very website. So tune in.
We're back here in the second half
Goodness.
at Rod Poppe Field here at Marengo High School, where the Indians are down 14-6 to the Burlington Central Rockets. They're going to kick off here to start the second half, look to get a stop and get the ball back and hopefully get in the end zone and tie this ball game up. But first things first, kickoff and defense.
Yes, thank you, Nate, for that thunderous entrance. Well, we're going to get this second half started really shortly. Let's see if we can start off our defense, get a nice stop, and get our offense back on the field.
Looks like we got Joe Braden and Trevor Davison back for the Rockets. Remember, Velasquez likes to hit that little pooch kick into that empty spot here, looking to try to get a turnover and get the ball back. We'll see where he tries to place this ball. He's going to kick it right in there, and it's going to go on the ground, but it's going to be recovered by number 3. That's Abraham Sampson. He's the guy in the first half who had the interception. He's a cornerback for the Rockets, and the Rocket offense will take over at about the 42-yard line, their own 42-yard line. So Indians need to get a stop here. 4 seconds here into the second half, and the Indians are looking for that big play here. Hopefully, maybe even get a turnover here and capitalize on it.
Yeah, that'd be ideal for the situation right now.
First and 10 here, a little QB keeper up the middle, and he's going to be brought down by a host of Indians, 3 or 4 guys that are in the play, including number 72, Luke Keenum, and number 52, that's Justin Vogel, the junior defensive end for the Indians.
You know, Nate, it's good to see Luke Keenum back from that injury that he had suffered at the end of the Harvard game. We thought it might have been a little bit more serious than it was, but, you know, he's back, and it's good to see him back.
Yep, a little calf injury, but he seems to be all right making the tackle there on that play. Little handoff up the left side to number 33. That's Riley Marino, and he gets enough for the first down at midfield into Indian territory at about the 46-yard line, and it'll be first and 10 for the Indians. A handoff to Marino to the right side, little off tackle run there for Marino, the running back for the Rockets. A gain of about 2 or 3, and it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Rockets.
Yeah, the Rockets are coming out here running, you know, and we kind of figured that would be the case because that's pretty much what they did all first half. So that play was butter, mate.
It was butter. The catchphrase is kicking in there, Dan.
Yes, it is.
I formation, I formation, tight end left side, and the play goes to number 28. That's Davison, Trevor Davison, the sophomore running back. And gain of about 4 or 5, and so it'll be 3rd and 2 for the Rockets. Indians need a big stop here, maybe a stop in the backfield and force a punt. Little handoff up the middle to number 28. That is Davison, and he is met in the backfield immediately. You see who made that tackle, Dan? Looks like that's John Leshik.
Was it?
Nope, excuse me. That's number 36. That's Dakota Sanda. Stop in the backfield, and the Rockets are going to bring in a few players here. I don't know if they're looking to bring in a power team here for this 4th down play or if this is their punt team. And it looks like we're going to run an offensive play here. I formation. They brought the Big Hogs in here. Indians need a stop here. 4th down, 4th and 2, and the handoff's going to go up the right side to.
They got him.
And he didn't get enough, and a big stop for the Indians. That's Leshik and number 20, Dustin Rondorf, in on the tackle, and that'll be a turnover on downs. Indians take over, so the first possession for the Rockets is a no-go, and the Indians get a turnover on downs, and an excellent way to start the second half.
Yeah, that was a great play by Leshik there, but have we seen a punt by the Rockets?
I don't think that we have yet. I think that, well, most of their offensive possessions have been into our territory, and they've taken the chance at getting that first down.
That is a good point.
So Leshik will take over in the shotgun. That's Doyle And the Leshek's going to keep it, a nice block there. And he's going to get tripped up a little bit there. And the original block by Easterline is going to, that man's going to end up making the stop. Leshek stopped after a gain of about 3 or 4. That's number 54. Excuse me, that's number 54, Craig Klein, the sophomore linebacker for the Rockets. So 2nd and 8 here with about 8:36 to go here in the third quarter. And the Indians are trying to push it across midfield, 2nd and 8 from their own 41-yard line. Leshek back in the shotgun again. Wide receivers, twin receivers split out each direction. And that's Velasquez in motion. And it's going to be a little pass across the middle, a little slant pattern to Rondorf. And Rondorf tough to take down. A nice catch. A few yards after the catch, and Rondorf has a gain of about 15, 16 yards and a first down for the Indians. Past midfield into Rocket territory down to their 42-yard line. So they flip the field on the Rockets here with 8 minutes to go in the half, down 8. Need to get in the end zone and get a 2-point conversion and tie this ball game up.
Yeah, there's that gunslinger arm by Johnny Leshek that we were talking about in the first half. And, you know, Dustin Rondorf, like Johnny Leshek, is a big boy, and he's kind of hard to take down, you know.
Plays tight end here, big center in the basketball team, and Indians are in business here, first down into Rocket territory. Leshek to pass again, and it's tipped in the backfield, and ball falls incomplete. You know, those are dangerous situations there. That ball gets tipped, and you never know who might fall under it, Dan.
That is very true, and, you know, you hope that, you know, that ball just dropped down, but, you know, those DBs are ball hawking all over the place, so... You know, that was a lucky break by the Indians.
A pass that could be have good intentions, that little tip on it, and, you know, it's no fault of the quarterback, but a little tip there, and it turns into an interception real quick. But lucky break there for the Indians, and they'll have a 2nd and 10 here. Velasquez in motion, fake to Velasquez, and Leshek is going to go up the right side with it and get a few yards here. A little bit more manageable third down for the Indians, a gain of 3 or 4, brought down by... number 50, that's Kyle Holtz, a senior defensive tackle for the Rockets.
You know, the Indians are coming out with that, like, end-around formation. That's how they've started pretty much every single play to start this half.
You know, that's a little misdirection there. Try to get the defense flowing in one direction and hopefully take advantage in the other way. We're going to have a little officials timeout here, I think, a little uniform issue for a couple Rockets defenders. And they're going to go on and off. Looks like maybe a shoulder pad or a helmet problem there, and the official blows a whistle, calls timeout to get a new defender on the field. Leshek in the shotgun. That's Doyle in motion across, and Leshek's going to keep it again. He's going to go up the middle, and he's going to be just short of the first down, and now the decision for the Indians. I think they're in 4-down territory, Dan.
Yeah, you know, I think if I was Coach Lynch, I would go for it here. You know, we're right there, and we need to get this touchdown and 2-point conversion tied up.
I think the biggest thing is the big momentum builder here, too. You keep that momentum going and get this first down and keep this drive alive and have a chance to tie up this ball game.
Now, the question is, Nate, what do you do? Do you run the ball like we've been doing, or do you try and trick them?
You've had a lot of success so far running the ball, but Leshek goes under center, so we'll see here.
Watch the quarterback sneak.
QB sneak up the middle, and it's not going to be enough. They're going to be stopped short, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. And the Rockets will take over at the 34-yard line. So Leshek tries to get a push, and no real push up the middle. Not enough, and the Indians are stopped, and the Rockets take over on downs. So 14-6 here, 6 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Indians had a little drive going there, but it's stuffed at the 34-yard line where the Rockets will take over 1st and 10.
Let's see if our defense can hold them to another 4 and out again like they've done the past couple drives.
Little slant pass out to the right side, and it's number 2. That is Deshaun Rambo. That's an all-name team individual there. That's a heck of a name. Deshaun Rambo on the reception, a little slant across the middle, enough for a first down, and gets it close to midfield, out to the Rockets' 47-yard line, and a first down for Burlington.
Oh, but Nate, tell us about that Rockets player who you really like their name. What was their name again?
I'm looking for it here. Give me a minute, I'll find it. It's got to be right up there on the all-name team as well. That is Majewski on the carry. Keeps it himself. Brought down by number 20, Dustin Rondorf, and it'll be a second and about 3. That all-name team I was talking about, the offensive lineman, number 77 for the Rockets. His name is Victorious Almasi. Victorious Almasi, Dan. Now, if you talk about a sports name, Victorious has to rank right up there with the all-name team as well. Little handoff to the fullback. That's number 34. I believe that is, number 24, Sean Garbarino, the senior fullback for the Rockets. First down for the Rockets, and they are into Indian territory, Indian 43-yard line. 5:05 here to go in the third quarter. Indians need to get a stop here, get a ball back. It's quick scoring at the beginning of this ball game, and it's been back and forth since. Run up the middle, stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and little good plug of the hole there by the D-line. That's Rondorf, number 20, and number 55, Tommy Graysick, the junior defensive tackle. Both juniors there for the Indians on the defensive line. Plug up the hole, and it's a short gain. It'll be about a 2nd and 9.
You know, Nate, that's the type of penetration that every defense needs to have to make it successful. And, you know, sometimes we've seen it from this defensive line, and other times we've just been getting pushed around. And, you know, if we can penetrate, like I hope we're going to do right here, but, you know.
Little pitch to the near side and brought down by 72, Luke Keenum. And that looks like number 16, John Leshik on the stop, 3rd down. And, you know, not a whole lot of penetration there, but nice lateral movement there to get a stop for just a few yards, maybe 2, maybe 3, and brings up a longer 3rd down for the Rockets.
You know, what the Rockets are doing exactly what they have been doing the entire game. They've been using that methodical run play to open up passing games, play action passes, and this option run that they've been running, you know, and it's been working. They're getting down the field, but we've been able to stop them when they
here's
get in
that
their
sprint
territory.
out and a little deep pass. An attempt at a deep pass, and that's Trevor Davison. He's a slippery little running back there, not able to bring him down. He's a sophomore, and the pass wasn't enough for the first down, but he's able to pick it up, and it's 1st and 10 for the Rockets at the Marengo 27-yard line. And just as Marengo was starting to get a little thing going there on defense and get a stop, first down play, and the Rockets will keep this drive alive. Officials timeout, got to tie a shoe there.
It is a confirmed yes. Brittany has a date for homecoming. Hey, the Booster Club will be selling pulled pork sandwiches, and they're not so fancy.
We're gonna. This is a heck of a knot he's tying in this shoe, Dan.
It is. He doesn't want that thing to come undone again.
All right, so shoe is fixed, and the defense realigns, and offense steps up. I formation, split out wide receiver each direction, tight end right for the Rockets. Sprint back pass, looking for a little dump. We're going to have a hold, I believe, on the play. And Majewski's going to roll out, and he's going to go out of bounds, and brought down by number 13. That's Brett McMacken, and number 7, Justin Velasquez. But it is a holding penalty on the Rockets, and it's going to take them back, be 1st and probably 20, if not more.
Now, Nate, let me ask you a question really quick. Sorry, folks, my partner's a little caught up right now.
All right, here, so we have a 1st and 25 after the holding penalty on the Rockets. It'll be split wide receiver, same formation, tight end right, Majewski under center. He's going to spread out and looking for a little dump-off pass, and he finds Trevor Davison up the left side, and it's going to be enough to get almost to the first down, a gain of darn near 27, or excuse me, it'll be about 22, 23 yards, and almost back for the first down. It'll be a second and about 2, so a big pickup there, not really what the Indians were looking for.
You know, Nate, to go back to the whole tying the shoe thing, let me ask you a question. Is it harder for you to tie your shoe because you got to reach down so far?
No, you know, the arms are just as long. Everything is proportional, so
that is
it's
good
all the
news.
same
That's
for
good
everyone
news,
else.
You know? I mean, but these are questions that the people on IHSA TV want to
You know,
know.
I don't really think they want to hear any big jokes.
I think they're not big jokes. These are serious questions that I'm trying to ask you to figure out everything about your life right now.
I know. What's it like to be a tall guy? I get it. Well,
you know some people want to know. You know?
I think that it's just like everybody else, except for the fact that I can't buy clothes in a regular store like everyone else. And I think that's discrimination against tall people.
Now you're just being a baby.
Well, maybe. First down there for the Rockets, a little run play. They didn't need much, and it's 1st and 10 for the Rockets from the 15-yard line. Handoff to Marino. He's up the middle and fights forward, and really the push right now is all the Rockets. Indians need something to go their way and build the momentum up a little bit, because you can start to see just the demeanor of the defense start to dwindle here, and we need a big play here to kind of spark the momentum again.
You know, I don't know if it's either the demeanor diminishing or it's the fatigue that's setting in, because they're running all over the place trying to catch these guys.
Yep, a lot of run plays, a lot of push forward, a lot of straight up the middle, and it wears on the defensive line if they're not ready to go here and not making those plays. Little fake handoff, boot out for the quarterback, and he's going to step right up the middle. Kind of sneaks inside, click, and it's a keeper up the middle, and Majewski gets in the end zone. 1:37 to go in the ball game. Touchdown Rockets, and it will make it a 20-6 ball game with the extra point to look to make it a 15-point game. Kick is up. Snap is good. Hold is good and kick is good. So with 1:37 to go in the ball game, in the third quarter, it's 21-6 Burlington Central over the Indians here in Week 6 IHSA football here on IHSA TV. We'll be back in a minute.
Marengo students, Mr. Olson wants me to let you know that any individuals last year who had qualified for a state competition, whether for athletics, academics, or Skills USA, he wants you to come see him, because next week at Settlers Day, Marengo High School will have a float celebrating all those individuals who qualified to go down state. So see Mr. Olson sometime this week.
Kick by Matthews here back to the Indians. It's a low squib kick, and Velasquez will pick it up. And he brings it right up the middle of the field, and he's brought down by Riley Marino at about the 22-yard line, where the Indians offense will take over. 1:31 to go here in the third quarter, down 21-6, and needing a score to get the momentum going back in their direction.
Yeah, they definitely do, Nate. And, it's fatigue, diminishing demeanor, whatever it may be. But, the only way to right that ship is to get some tutties up in here you know what I'm saying.
Yep, get in the end zone. Take it to the house. Get a score here, and things can turn around real quick for you. Snap was a little bad there to Leshek. Leshek going to look to – he's going to have to hold on to it, and he's going to get sacked in the backfield. Kind of a bad snap there to start that play. It was going to be a pass, and the bad snap and really couldn't get his reads because he had to pay attention to picking up that ball. So brought down for a loss of about 3 or 4, dropped in the backfield. It'll be 2nd and 13 here with 1:06 to go in the quarter.
You know, sometimes that's the best play for the quarterback to do is just fall on the ball. Don't try and make any plays happen. You know, you just gotta go with the flow. And sometimes quarterbacks get hit. And, you know,
sometimes you got to take your lumps and just understand that keeping the ball is probably better than making a turnover. Leshek under center this time. Haven't seen this much tonight, and he's going to hand it off to. No, excuse me. He's going to keep it as a fake to Doyle, and he holds on to it for a gain of about 1. Just nothing really going here for the Indian offense.
Number 82, that's Joe Lopez. And it'll be 3rd down and long for the Indians.
Looks like maybe one more play here to go in the 3rd quarter. 20 seconds to go here. The clock is running. We'll see if I think the Indians are going to have to run it just to get in the playoff. 12 seconds, 10 seconds. Leshek trips right. Bad snap again, and Leshek's going to roll out. He's looking for that man, and we are going to have crowd wants a pass interference, but I think that was pretty much up for grabs. And we got the end of the 3rd quarter, and it's going to be a 4th down for the Indians. When we come back, Leshek able to get after he got the snap or got a handle on the snap, rolled out and had a man open across the middle, but just a pass kind of thrown a little inside. The defender able to make a play on the ball, and Velasquez not able to bring it down. So we're going to flip sides here, head into the 4th quarter where the Indians are down to the Rockets, 21-6 here, Week 6, IHSA TV. Back here to start the 4th quarter for the Indians. Down 21-6. It's going to be heading back to punt. And staggered back here, almost like they're not going to give away which side to kick it to, is Davison and Breeden. And so they're staggered right behind each other, and so Henning's just going to have to kick it whatever direction he wants. And they're going to split it up. So now Henning has a look at who he wants to kick it to. And I got a feeling he's going to kick it right to Breeden. And it's straight up in the air. It's going to be a poor kick, but it takes an Indian bounce in the right direction, and it's going to end up out at the 45-yard line, but still in Indian territory. So the Rockets take over again with good field position. It has been that all night for the Rockets. Indians unable to really push the ball out much out of their own territory except for first drive of the game where they got a score. So 21-6 here to go, just starting the 4th quarter. And the Indians need to stop, and they need to get the ball in the end zone. Majewski under center, pitch out right to Davison. Davison up the right side, and he is going to try to keep his feet, and he does. That's pretty athletic running back for a sophomore there. Gain of about 14, 15 yards, 1st down for the Rockets, and they're in business again. Yeah, that's quite an athlete there, that sophomore Davison.
Yeah, that was great balance to stay on your feet. You know, that's difficult. I mean, I don't know firsthand, but from hearing it, you know, when you get hit, you know, you really gotta be good with your balance and be very athletic, like you said. And, you know, this kid, he looks like he's going to be good for a few more years for the Rockets.
Some players just have that knack to keep on their feet, and it's just a natural ability that they have. And that's Davison again up the left side, a gain of about 5 or 6, and it'll be 2nd and 4.
4-yard line before he's brought down. That'll bring up a 2nd and 4 for Burlington Central.
Majewski bringing the Rocket offense back to the line of scrimmage. I formation, tight end left, split out wide receiver each direction. Fullback, tailback. It's handoff directly to, that's an option. No fullback, no tailback, and a nice little play by Majewski there. Fakes out the Indian cornerback, and he takes it down to about the 5-yard line. It's a pretty athletic play himself for the quarterback, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Rockets from the Indian 5-yard line.
The change for the Rockets will have 1st and goal to go for Central.
You know, Nate, this is what those little runs do. They open up these big runs, and they open up the passing game, too. And, you know, the Indians look a little bit confused on where the ball's going to go right now.
Little pitch out to Davison up the left side, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. He keeps his feet and drives it forward. Indians with the initial hit, but unable to take him down. And that is, that's number 13 for, I don't know who made that score. Who was that, Dan? Did you see who got in the end zone there?
No, I did not. I apologize.
That's 83, Alex Johnson on the carry, and he barrels his way into the end zone and makes it 27-6 here with 10:06 to go in the ball game. The extra point to follow from Casey Matthews.
Nate, I got my glasses on, not my binoculars.
Snap is good, kick is up. He's got a good leg, and it is in through the uprights. 28-6, 10:06 to go here in the ball game, and things have kind of gotten out of hand here for the Indians, and what looked like a good opportunity to get back in this game and get something going their way. Indians just unable to get much of a push on offense, and some big plays for the Rockets, and we're 28-6 just like that. 10:06 to go here in the ball game. Indians are down, looking to get a score when they come back. Week 6, IHSA TV. We'll be back in a minute. Back here at Rod Poppe Field in Marengo, Illinois. 10:06 to go in the ball game. Rockets are going to be kicking off here. Back to receive the kick for the Indians, number 7, Justin Velasquez, and number 33, Casey Doyle. Squib kick there. Recovered by number 52, Justin Vogel. And the Indians will have 1st and 10 at their own 35.
You know, he looked like he could have done something on that kick, but he lost his footing, and he just fell right where he caught the ball.
A little slip, but at least came down with a football. And
that is true. It's good that he didn't fumble, because that would have been disastrous.
So Indians offense takes over here. Leshik, the running back for the Indians, taking over at QB this week. Hands off to Casey Doyle out there to the right side, and nothing going there. Defense in the backfield real quick, and the Rockets from Burlington Central have done a heck of a job adjusting in this ballgame, Dan.
Yeah, Doyle tried to cut back into the inside that time, and he just got stuck there by the defender. And, you know, they really have done a good job the entire time.
Got some scores here from around the area. Go ahead and give us a few here, Dan, while we wait on this next play.
All right, well, Marion Central against St. Francis is at halftime right now, with Marion Central leading 7-2. Harvard against North Boone is in halftime right now, with North Boone winning 21-7. Burlington, oh well, this is us. Let me go ahead there. Cary Grove against McHenry, they're in halftime as well. Cary Grove's winning 28-3. Go ahead, Nate.
Lopez back in at QB, hands off to Leshik. Leshik up the middle for a gain of about a yard. And it'll be 3rd and 8 for the Indians.
You know, we also have Woodstock against Grayslake North at halftime, with Grayslake North winning 21-7. We have Grayslake Central against Crystal Lake Central at halftime, with Crystal Lake Central winning 28-0. We have Crystal Lake South against Prairie Ridge in halftime as well, with Crystal Lake South winning 14-7. We have Dundee Crown against Woodstock North in the third quarter, with Woodstock North winning 25-10. Huntley against Jacob. Huntley's winning 7-6. They're in halftime. And Hampshire against Johnsburg is in the fourth quarter, with Hampshire winning 27-21. Back to you, Nate.
Thanks, Dan. Those scores from around the area, courtesy of the Northwest Herald app on the iPhone. We appreciate them providing those scores to us and able to get you some updates there as the night goes on. 8:49 to go here in the ball game. Indians down 28-6. Got a timeout here. It'll be a 3rd and 9 when the Indians come back on offense. Be back here in a minute.
Where's the Noah chance? Pass the ball. Pass to Noah. Pass to Noah. Going down 22.
Lopez back in the game as the QB under center. He's going to pitch it out to Leshik. Leshik looking for and I think we got a little contact here, and we're going to have an offensive.
Some laundry on the field.
Defensive pass interference, and Lopez trying to get out there to that ball, and in reality, the D-back was trying to make a play on the ball, but he had that arm out and was keeping Velasquez from doing what he needed to do. So a little trickery there by the Indians offense. Little pitch out there, and to Leshik. Leshik throws it deep to Velasquez, and no catch, but pass interference, and the Indians will get an automatic first down here. Little something trying to get things going, and maybe that's what they needed. Still plenty of time here in the game. 3 scores still within 3 scores, and Indians still have that opportunity to get back in, but they're going to need a couple quick scores to do so.
They really do. We need to score here. Then we need to get, a quick 4 and out or a turnover would be ideal in the next defensive stand there. But, that was clearly a hold by the defender there, and, Velasquez couldn't catch that ball, and, it's good to see them throw that laundry on the field and go our way.
The something that a lot of people don't know is the uncatchable rule does not apply to high school football. If it's uncatchable, it does not matter. You cannot make contact with the offensive receiver while the ball is in the air. And actually in high school football, another rule that's different from college and the NFL is that you can make contact at any time as long as the ball's not in the air and as long as you are not holding. So you can actually make contact 5, 10, 15 yards down the field as long as you are not holding and the ball's not in the air. So the cornerbacks can put a little bit more pressure on the wide receivers.
Thank you, Nate, for teaching us all something today. I do appreciate that.
Everybody needs to learn something every day.
Math teacher by day, IHSA rule keeper by night.
It's an easy second job to have.
So, no, wouldn't that make it your
It's
third
job,
night?
I guess.
Your
If
third
you
night
count
job?
coaching, it's my third, or I don't know.
No,
I've
because we had
a lot of jobs.
math teacher by day, then we had announcer, comedian, and now we have IHSA rule
Aficionado?
Beautiful. That sounds great. I don't even know if that's a word,
I
but
think it
you
is.
know.
Hand off to Leshik up the middle, a gain of maybe 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Indians.
I got a dictionary if you want to look it up.
Aficionado. It's somebody who's like an official.
Whatever
about
you say. Maybe you should have been an English teacher.
Hey, I like to say that I have a master's in worldly knowledge, Dan. I try to know a little bit about everything.
He can't spell. He's trying to say that he's got a master's in worldly knowledge. He can't even spell.
A little split left. It's Lopez. Hands off to Leshik. Leshik up the left side. A gain of maybe a yard or 2. Stopped right about the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd down for the Indians.
You know, I should have asked you, spell aficionado right now, Nate.
O-F-F.
Stop while you're ahead.
I-A-N-A-D-O. Aficionado.
No, you took too long. Time limit ran out.
No, as long as I
No.
don't say the wrong letter.
You didn't know the rules to this game.
You know what? Why don't you look up spelling bee rules, because I'm pretty sure I'm okay.
You know, this is a different game than football, so you
Fair
didn't
enough.
know.
I really don't know a whole lot about either situation. So, tight end right, pitch to Leshik. Leshik on the sweep. It's going to be a hold on the Indians. I don't really think that was much of a hold. It was a double team, and the guy was fighting through the 2. There was no real hold there. The official throwing the flag because of what he saw, but if you saw it from this angle, you see something different. But from his angle, I could see how he probably saw that as a hold. And in reality, Dan, probably holding on every play in football.
There really is, but some's not called. Some's more severe than others, and, you know, it's all about who the refs are looking at. And you should know best because you are an aficionado. So
That is very, very true. Aficionado of football rules.
ladies and gentlemen, he is Googling the definition.
I am not Googling the definition.
He is Googling to see if that is a real word right now.
So after the hold, it'll be a 3rd and 15. Yeah, it'll be more like a 3rd and 20 here, 21. And Lopez, we're going to go back to 4 wide here with Easterling in the backfield and Leshik at QB looking to throw this ball. Leshik drops back, a little bit of help there. Nice little pass across the middle, and not enough there. Intended for Doyle, and Doyle unable to come up with it, and the Indians will be forced to punt here.
That was almost an interception. Lucky it didn't get picked off because that could have been returned for a big chunk of yards. I think I'm going to start calling you W again. I like that. I mean, I'll give you the choice. It could be W or it could be the other one.
I think Nate works. We'll punt back here for Henning. He's going to get back, try to pin him deep here. Nice kick. Recovered by Breeden. Breeden's going to turn around and take it up the right, back up the middle. Fleet-footed, and he's able to keep his feet and brought down by Doyle, number 33. Kind of chased him from behind. And Rockets will take over about the 43-yard line. Breeden seems to be injured on the play. Coming up this week for other Indian athletics, the boys golf team will compete in their regional on Tuesday. The girls golf team will go on Wednesday. The boys soccer team has a home game this week.
Really quick, Nate.
As well as
who happens to be the coach of the girls?
Girls golf team, that'd be myself.
W over here.
W. Boys soccer varsity game this week at home. Tennis is away this week. And the volleyball team with a home game as well on Tuesday. So a lot of action going on this Tuesday and Wednesday around Marengo. That's Davison up the right side. A gain of about 8 or 9. It'll bring up a 2nd and short for the little late flag there on the play. I think we're going to have some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct of some kind on the Indians. Looked to be a little scuffle and a cheer from the Rocket fans, so probably a penalty on the Indians. And I think Lynch is going to bring him over to the sideline to have a conversation with him and tell him to knock it off.
personal foul against the Indians, so they'll
Penalty is on the Indian. They're going to mark this one off. Automatic first down for the Rockets, and it takes them into Indian territory as well, all the way down to the 34-yard line.
around the 34-yard line.
Rockets looking to burn up as much time as possible here, up 22 points. They're just probably going to run this ball. I don't think we're going to see the ball aired out at all the rest of this ball game.
Nah, they got this game pretty much on lock right now because the Indians can't do much on defense and they're not doing much on offense. So, they're just going to run the clock out and, hope that they can hold the Indians, which they've done pretty much in the entire night except for that first drive.
In reality, it's been a battle of defense most of the night until these past couple possessions for the Rockets where they've got a couple scores, but it was back and forth minus the first couple possessions of the game.
Yeah, it was. This game started out pretty electric, with that big old first drive for the Indians and then Burlington coming back and responding. But, it's pretty much been Burlington Central the rest of the way.
Handoff there to number 5, Nick Patton. He gain of probably 3. It'll be, 4, and it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Rockets. Almost to the Indian 30-yard line, their territory.
Nate, earlier I was complaining that it was hot. It's gotten pretty chilly out.
Yeah, the temperature definitely dropped here as the game's progressed. We were setting up tonight and working up a good sweat, and things are starting to get cool here, working the temperature down into the 50s. Little pitch out to Patton again, number 5 up the right side, and he's brought down by a few Indians, and it'll be 4th down for the Rockets.
Brought down just shy of the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th down for the Rockets.
So, Nate, is it safe to say that it's your fault that the temperature dropped? Because you said that it was going to be a sweaty setup, and then, lo and behold, it turns into a pretty cold one.
It did.
Your fault.
My fault.
Your fault. I hope you know that.
I'm being blamed for a lot of things here tonight. Probably well-deserved.
Rightfully so. You should be.
Rockets are going to punt here for the first time tonight. That's number 8, Casey Matthews. He's going to kick it up the right side, and it is going to take a bounce out of bounds, and the officials are going to mark it off. 1st and 10 for the Indians. 3:54 left to go in this ball game. We got a score of 28 for Burlington Central Rockets and Marengo Indians 6. We'll be back in a few minutes here on IHSA TV. Indians offense back out on the field here, looking to get big drive going here. 3:54 left in the ball game, down 28-26. Taking the possession over at their own 10-yard line. Leshik in the backfield. Going to sprint out. Looking to throw the ball. And the pass is going to be incomplete. It's going to be incomplete and no catch. Seems to be some confusion between the officials on what happened there, but I think they made the right call.
You have your opinion. Yeah, where's the booth review on that one?
Yeah, it's back into college. Maybe one of these days as this IHSA TV takes off and we get some things going that we'll have the booth review in high school football, but I think that's a long ways from happening. Pass incomplete. It'll be trips right here for the Indians. Sprint out right by Leshik. He finds Doyle. And Doyle unable to come down with it, so it'll be 3rd and 10 after the 2 incompletions.
To go back to that last play, Coach Lynch definitely thought it was a catch, and he's a pretty trustworthy guy. So, I think
and it was right in front of him, so he probably had a better look than we did. In reality, the official that had the look really was keeping his eyeballs on the quarterback after the pass. and the official all the way across the field, I would say the referee there, the official that stands right behind the linebackers, he was the one that actually saw that the ball possibly have hit the ground, and if they think it's going to hit the ground, they probably have to call it. Leshik under center here, split running backs in the backfield, and Leshik drops straight back with some pressure. He's going to try to weed himself out, and he needs to tuck it in, and he is brought down in the backfield. That is going to be registered as a sack, a loss of about 3 there, and that brings up 4th and 13 for the Indians.
You know, those are some beautiful dance moves by Johnny, but of course, you know, wasn't very moving forward. You know, I know he was trying to make something happen there, but, you know, at least, I mean, if the football thing doesn't work out, he's got a nice career of ballroom dancing to go to, you know?
Maybe a little Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
So Indians are going to have to punt again. 4th and 13, heading back to kick, and back to deep to receive is number 28, Trevor Davison, and a good kick end over end. Davison's going to let it bounce, and it gets into his hands, and Davison has a ball up the left side, a gain of return of about 18, brought down by number 34, Kyle Easterline. And with 2:37 to go here in the ball game, Indians down 22. Rockets will take over from the Indian 31-yard line. And really, this is the story of the night, Dan, is they've had great field position all night long to start things out.
You know, they have, and they've worn down this Indians defense, and you know, they've made it a tiring game with their option left and option right, and then their play action passing, running out to the left or running out to the right and throwing the ball, and it's really worn out this defense. And you know, you can see how much that helps you out.
Number 83, Alex Johnson, brought down.
And as I say, they're worn out. They make a great play.
Yeah, a little stop there in the backfield. Here, number 83, that was Alex Johnson on the carry, brought down by a group of Indians. Initially, the contact was made by number 68, Jeff Lindow.
Oh, quick shout out to our beautiful voice PA announcer, Mr. Price over here. He's doing a great job.
And a little shout out to our cameraman as well, Trevor, up there on the camera.
Freezing
helping
his
us
butt
out,
off.
freezing up there on top of the press box. Things have cooled down on him a little bit tonight. I don't know if anybody was really ready for the temperature drop that's happened here today.
Maybe you were, because it's your fault that it happened. You know? So
I did kind of jinx us there.
you did.
1:35 to go here in the ball game, and Rockets are just looking to run this clock out here. 3rd and 13, and probably 1 or 2 more plays and maybe a punt, and this ball game will be over. The Indians will go to 1-5 on the season, and the Rockets will go to 5-1. So kind of a tale of 2 different directions here. A little penalty on the play. We're going to have false start on the offense. We're going to bring it back 5 yards and do it again. That stops the clock with 1:06 to go in the ball game. Indians, tough one tonight. Just couldn't really get anything going offensively after the first possession, where they kind of caught the Rockets off guard with a new offensive formation, taking their running back John Leshik and putting him in at the quarterback spot, splitting out forward wide receivers. They weren't really ready for some of those things, but they adjusted quickly, and once they did, the Indians had a tough time getting anything going on offense. So they're going to let the clock run as much as they can, and brought down in the backfield, that is number 60, Eric Johns, with the stop there for the Indians. And I got a feeling that is the last play we're going to see. Maybe one more. It all depends on here what the I think we're probably, I don't know, the issue is, I think, and Lynch is going to run out on the field, and they're going to call a ball game. The coaches shake hands at the middle of the field, and that's it here from Rod Poppe Field at Marengo High School, where the Indians were beat tonight 28-6 by the by the Burlington Central Rockets. A next home game for the Indians will be in 2 weeks. That's homecoming, October 12th, where they will take on Rockford Christian. The Indians go to Stillman Valley next week, where they will take on the Cardinals of Stillman Valley, who are having a good season themselves. They were the only team to beat the Burlington Central Rockets tonight, and the Indians will go on the road next week. Back in 2 weeks will be IHSA TV will be taken over, and we'll be looking to get a victory here. So we're going to be back here in a few minutes to recap this ball game. Tonight we're here at Marengo High School, where the Indians got beat 28-6 by the Richmond Burton Rockets. Back here to wrap it up from Rob Poppe Field at Marengo High School. Tough loss tonight for the Indians. They started off on a good note, though, came out right away, took the opening drive downfield, new offense. Leshik, instead of being the running back, came in as the QB, back in the shotgun with wide receiver split out, some some inside handoff motion going on there, and caught the Rockets off guard, and they took a quick 6-0 lead on a score by Leshik. QB keeper missed the extra point. That made it 6-0. And then Burlington Central on their drive, they turn it over on downs, not able to get anything going. But the next play for the Indians, or the next drive for the Indians, a little first pass play for Leshik was intercepted by Sanson for the Rockets, and they take over. They go 4th and goal. And from about the 4, they take it in. There was Marino with a carry and the extra point, making it 7-6. Marengo comes back with a 3 and out, and then the next probably about 2 plays into that drive, they're third down. Excuse me, it was third down. So yeah, 2 plays into the drive, 55-yard pass play from Majewski to Breeden made it 14-6. And the Burlington Central Rockets would never really look back after that. Back and forth the rest of the first half, going to halftime, 14-6 score. Burlington Central comes out in the first possession of the second half, and they go 4 and out. Then Marengo turns it over on downs after a little bit of a drive of their own. Burlington Central comes back and gets a touchdown on a Majewski keeper, making it 21-6. Marengo would then have to punt on their next possession, and then Alex Johnson would put in the last score for the Rockets. Extra point made it 28-6, and then a couple punts, and the ball game would be over. So the Indians lose tonight. Players of the game, Dan, let's start with the Indians first. Losing team on the scoreboard tonight. Who are you going to go with for player of the game?
Well, I think we got to go with John Leshik. You know, new offense. Not necessarily new because they did run it back when he was a freshman and sophomore, but it is new. It is a couple years that he hasn't run it, and he did very well, and then it just got shut down. The Rockets kind of it became predictable a little bit, and they knew where everything was going to go, and they jammed us. But Johnny Leshek had some nice throws. He came out with that gunslinger mentality that we were talking about earlier. And he also had some nice runs, and he set up a lot of things. And, I must say that this offensive scheme was a bit more productive than it was last week.
Yeah, a touchdown there for the Indians, more than they were able to put on the board last week. So Leshek, player of the game for the Indians. That's tough. Make that transition, and he's a linebacker, too, and made a lot of stops tonight. How about for the Rockets of Burlington Central? Who do you got for player of the game?
We're going to go with Trevor Davison. He did a good job running the ball, and he made a lot of nice catches out of the backfield. He set up a lot of things for the Rockets and, gave them quite a bit of points. And, yeah, that's about it. You got anything else to say, Nate?
Yeah, I think Davison probably player of the game. I mean, returning kicks, just a very slippery running back, able to have some of those natural moves.
Yeah, he gave them great field position to start out. That really hurt us.
That was really the story of the night, was the field position the Rockets were able to gain. So tough night here for the Indians. They lose 28-6 at the hands of the Burlington Central Rockets, and they move to 1-5 on the season, and the Rockets move to 5-1 and take a little bit of a command on their lead here in the Big Northern East. So rough one tonight for the Indians. They are beat here at home, Rod Poppe Field, and Week 6 of IHSA TV football here from Marengo High School. We're happy to bring you the game. We hope you enjoyed it live. We will try to upload it onto the internet so you can watch it probably until Monday or Tuesday, and then after that it'll go down until the end of the season where all the games will be posted again. So we enjoyed having you tonight. I'm Nate Wright for Dan Justin. We're happy to bring you the game. Have a safe weekend, and we'll see you in 2 weeks where the Indians will be having their homecoming ball game on October 12th against the Royal Lions of Rockford Christian. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a safe weekend. Goodbye.
Stay beautiful.